violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Welcome to WJZ News. To those of you streaming us, of course, we'll bring you more information on that suspect when we get it.
But we have to get to another story. This right here, not a typo. Another 16-year-old among the suspects arrested for carjacking a Baltimore police detective.
Whoa. So these super gremlins out here carjacking detectives. And I'm not saying that they're purposefully looking for, you know, police officers or off-duty cops to jack. No. They're just randomly choosing people who look like a lick. All right? And we saw this in Chicago, where the guy, what's his name? I don't know this guy. So, Will Klinger. We saw when he got robbed of his phone because he looked like a lick. Old white dude. That's a lick to a super gremlin on demon time.
The three armed suspects confronted that officer, now facing serious charges, including armed carjacking, assault, and armed robbery.
So two of the suspects, including that 16-year-old teenager, now at central booking.
WJZ investigator Mike Helgren has been all over.
And they'll be home in time for dinner, okay? Let's not get it messed up, all right? They're coming home. Everybody's coming home, all right? This is the new world that we live in. He'll be back on the streets, I guarantee. By the time this video comes out, he'll be back on the streets.
Over this story from the start for us tonight. He is live in Cherry Hill following new developments. Mike.
Rick, Denise, young suspects in these cases that have shocked a lot of people in this community. The carjacking happened right around the corner from this police station. Police have only named one of the suspects, 23-year-old Trevor Gardner. He does not appear to have a prior record. One of the three people who carjacked a Baltimore police officer remains on the loose.
That made me absolutely sick. I mean, come on now. A police officer, you're going to...
I mean, they probably didn't know he was a cop. He was probably in an unmarked car. And like I said, they choosing who looks like a lick.
Try to carjack?
I have carjacking that just occurred, 2830 South Hanover Street.
Police have now charged a 16-year-old and a 23-year-old for the brazen crime.
See, and this is how we know what's going down. You're a 23-year-old. What business do you have, unless this is your cousin or your family member, what business do you have with a 16-year-old boy? Okay. I mean, maybe we need to start putting ages of consent for just kicking it with a nigga. Like, why are you grown as hell chilling with a 16-year-old boy? Okay, and it's because they're bringing these dudes on to commit these crimes with them. All right, at 23 in the community, you an OG. At this rate, you're not supposed to see 24. The leading cause of death for black men between the ages of 18 and 24 is homicide. So you're not supposed to see 24. So you are OG at 23, and you bringing 16-year-old kids into your mess.
That unfolded on busy Hanover Street in Cherry Hill just after 6 Tuesday night. Police say they were armed and confronted the officer in an unmarked patrol car in front of a convenience store, were able to steal the car, then drove off, crashing less than a half-mile away in Port Covington.
What? They steal the car and crash a half-mile away, and obviously there's GPS in the vehicle. I mean, I don't know who was driving. They don't really think this kind of stuff through. They really are on some GTA mode. They probably were in the wrong, going the wrong way, just doing a whole bunch of stupid stuff, bro.
You can walk a half a block and the police station is right there. So if you're bold enough to carjack a police officer while the police station multiple officers right there. The response time is going to be quick. You're not going to get away. The crime is it's outrageous now.
But they did get away. They only got there were 3 suspects, right? And they only got the 16-year-old and the 23-year-old in custody. So somebody got away. And shout out to the brother for at least speaking up and saying that the crime is ridiculous, because it is. And this is not just Baltimore. This is everywhere. And it's been happening in Baltimore for a long time. But they slick got a hold on it before 2020. And now it's OV, man. These super gremlins are on demon time.
It's really, it takes your breath away.
How would you describe the crime in Baltimore right now?
Disgusting. Some of these people, running the streets with these guns are not scared. They're not scared of nothing or nobody.
Carjackings are up more than 60% in Baltimore year to date.
And her saying that, especially from a sister, especially if she identified the super gremlins, her saying that could be deemed as racist. Like, people might look at that and dox her for saying that, because she said it was disgusting with the head nod, okay? Disgusting.
There have been at least 200 since the start of the year,
Damn.
spread across the city, as you see on this map.
Patients come to me.
100 since the start of the year.
Go back to the map. Pooh Shiesty mask, Pooh Shiesty mask, Pooh Shiesty mask. A whole bunch of super gremlins on demon time, rocking a Pooh Shiesty mask.
They're spread across the city, as you see on this map.
Patients come to me in an emergency.
Among the victims, a Johns Hopkins doctor who was shot in an attempted carjacking off Lockraven Boulevard last month.
And we did that story. Go back and check it out. We did that story.
In the Southern District, where the officer fell victim, there have been 31 carjackings year to date. Many of the suspects are young.
I am a youth football coach in the city, so you got to try to show the kids that somebody cares. No matter what you're going through, how rough your life is, somebody cares.
Somebody cares. So we're supposed to care about these super gremlins on demon time. And they out here carjacking detectives, making people fearing for their life while they doing everyday activities. Nah, bruh. You can have them. You can have them, coach.
Now, police tell us that the suspects in the carjacking case are not from Baltimore City. Reporting live in Cherry Hill, Mike Helgren, CBS News, Baltimore.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Medgar Evers, and it's a very tranquil scene compared to just a couple hours ago where a drive-by shooting
just took place. Excuse me, I'm getting live updates as we speak. I've just been updated to the amount of casualties from this drive-by shooting, and I'm getting reports that 2 people were actually declared deceased and 27 others were shot and injured but are in stable condition. And although we must pray for the families of the fallen, we must also praise God for the aim of the super gremlin. If you want to know more about the victims of this crime, make sure you add BGZM News 17 on Patreon at www.patreon.com/blackgenzmindset. Also, don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and comment on the video to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this gun violence in the streets. For more hard-hitting news coverage from the community, by the community, I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
And cut.
All right, dog. Let's get the out of here before these niggas come back.
Whoa. Yo.
Whoa.
Ain't that nigga J?
Nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
He just went live
That
with
ain't
that
me.
funky ass suit
That's
on.
that nigga. That's not me.
Hey, get that nigga.
Jaquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia. Pray for me.
Jay-Z, breaking news.
And that breaking news, Baltimore City Police have arrested a 16-year-old for the murder of 30-year-old Marco Nunez. Nunez, the bouncer, killed as he tried to break up an altercation in the 1700 block of Thames Street late.
It's a lot of bouncers getting clapped. It's a lot of bouncers getting bounced. We already know the vibes, okay, as they like to call it. You know the vibes. I know y'all heard that. If you out here, if you outside, you know the vibes. We already know the vibes. If you try and tell one of these super gremlins on demon time, hey man, you got to get up out of the spot, man. You can't be doing all that here, man. Hey, you got to go. You know, let alone you jack one of them up and carrying them outside, which I see in the club all the time. Just know that you better clock out right then and go out the back door, because he gonna be waiting on you.
Last month, that teenager arrested just a few hours ago in the 900 block of Cherry Hill Road.
So following questioning, he will be taken to central booking, where he will be charged with first-degree murder and other charges.
This is WJZ News at 7.
9 days ago, a bouncer was shot and killed in Fells Point trying to break up a fight. Now one suspect, just 16 years old, is facing a charge of first-degree murder. Hello, everyone. I'm Vic Carter. Welcome to WJZ News at 7, and to those of you who are streaming us tonight.
And I'm Rick Ritter. Now, those who knew 30-year-old Marco Nunez told us he was a family man, fun to be around, and that this was a tragic killing. WJZ Live at 7 o'clock tonight. Kelsey Kushner following these new details for us.
Kelsey, what have you learned?
Well, Vic, Rick, I actually spoke with the family of Marco not too long ago on the phone. They tell me although they are relieved to hear that his killer is now caught, they say, of course, this will never actually bring back Marco. Police told us, though, that they were able to track down that 16-year-old using witness testimony and physical evidence.
So you know none of that witness testimony came from the community, okay? None of it came from the community, all right? The Gliders and the Burrito Brothers stepped up and gave the police what they needed to catch this super gremlin on demon time.
A 16-year-old now facing charges in connection to the death of 30-year-old Marco Nunez.
He's raised to be a protector of his family, but also people he considered family, and that's Rotos for him.
Police say they were able to use witness testimony and evidence to place the 16-year-old behind the trigger. And Wednesday, around 2 p.m., he was arrested by members of the Warrant Task Force. Nunez was shot and killed back in late April after trying to break up an altercation on Thames Street in Fells Point. A memorial now stands in the spot where he was killed. Friends and family members told WJZ he was a loving father, brother, and friend, and he loved his job bouncing at Rotos Bar. Today, neighbors are happy there's been an arrest.
The fact that he was 16, it's absolutely shocking. It's crazy.
How is that shocking? How is that shocking? This is why the OGs failed the community. I'm gonna get real on this. How is it shocking that when you turn on YouTube, when you turn on the TV, when you turn on Instagram, whatever you got, any source of entertainment, the super gremlins in that are playing with sticks, playing with guns, waving the guns and doing, and they're young, bruh. They're young. How is it shocking that a 16, bro, they're the ones doing all the stuff? I mean, obviously it's some older brothers, you know, or older super gremlins who are getting in to the business, but like, come on, bro. I don't see why this would be shocking. They have no direction. They mamas probably don't care about them or are mad abusive or are in these streets on some. And they out here, you know, getting it out the mud, as they would say.
Crazy.
Now, police say that 16-year-old was brought in for questioning. He will then be transported over to central booking and charged with first-degree murder, among other related charges. Reporting live at 7, Kelsey Kushner for WJZ.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.